call this meeting to order. Okay, go right into the agenda, item number 1. Area variance for 55. Meeting seeks a variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of creating additional bedrooms in the basement with no increased density.
Good evening, I'm Frank Sewell, local attorney representing 55 Tompkins Street LLC. Paul Armidio is the member of the LLC. We're here tonight for some area variances, and my understanding of this matter has gone through the Portland County Planning Department that has recommended approval of the project, provided that we get the variances, and then we need to go for a special use permit and obviously follow the seeker. Probably, I don't know which board will do the seeker, but might be the ZBA. And we're here to answer any questions that you may have relative to the variance requests.
Wait, my catch up with research. I'm having just I'm seeing a little bit of difficulty with the camera. So interior work, historic, something not needed. Was not connected. You not need a approval. Except that says so. Interior work, historic approval not needed. Is that what the conditions are?
It's my understanding that the only thing that is needed, say yes or no, is what I understand this.
So it's all interior basement.
So, which basically is, why we're here is, Mr. Armidio is trying to utilize the basement for additional, bedrooms for the sorority. And because of that, we needed to, because there's a change to the building, we need to get some area variances, although some of the variances, there's not gonna be much we can do with a 200-year-old building. And then provided we get the area variance, we have to go before the planning commission for special use.
So this is another issue like we've been going through everything. I mean, all this is pre-existing non-conforming, that the fence out front, that old stone gate fence thing has been there for 200 years.
Right. We don't want to touch that.
But our code says 1-on-1, you know,
Right.
1-to-1 ratio, 4 foot high. So
Right. We don't want to. I get it.
the parking is paved, it's been fine, it's not lined. The garage or carriage house, whatever you might call it, in the back is in that 4 foot.
Right.
It's not 4 foot off the property line. Like it should be, detached garage or a shed, which that also affects the 4 foot vegetative strip that's not there.
We've got multiple generations of ladies that have done very good at keeping that property looking good, and being respectful to the neighbors. So nice part about sororities.
And from what I understand, Mr. Armidio, he's not, Fran, you correct me if I'm wrong, he's not expanding the occupancy of the building. He just had young ladies that are doubled and tripled up in some rooms. And he's just trying to get them out of that double, triple occupancy into their own rooms.
More single rooms than getting rid of the double and triple occupancy. The other thing I would point out is even with the parking right now is sufficient right now. Even if every single one of them had a car, they don't. So the parking is.
And that's another thing, if you look, fraternal and sorority organizations by the table are supposed to have 1.5 spots per person, which he doesn't meet. So, I mean, you just heard, you know, you should have Mr. Casillo say that he has more than enough parking for his tenants. But again, that's just a number that I have to go by when I look at it. If he doesn't have it, then he's got to come to you guys for an area variance. And he does, and if he had to expand, for some reason, he needs more parking, he's got more than enough space to expand.
yeah, I was gonna say, I worked next door to there. Just, I'm not seeing serious issues. My question is being, rather than that is, the basement in that old house, are they gonna have to dig it up?
No,
No, it's a pretty big base.
They won't, Paul, they don't have to dig that out, so it's, right,
Okay, there's a lot of houses on top, because that basement is a utility, you know, some of them have.
Well, it's gonna need extensive work to be
Yeah.
firewall, gonna need.
So they don't have to dig down and reinforce foundations, because a lot of top and street houses, that you have to, so this, so,
Also, the existing building code
yeah,
allows an exemption in historical buildings for the height of the ceilings.
yeah,
But I still gotta think that the ceilings are at least like 7 feet, I think.
well, that's amazing for a house.
Pretty big base, I've been in there.
Because I live in the old London house, you have 6 foot either. And I'm just thinking,
I mean, he's got, if you look at the drawing, there's egress. All the rooms have an egress window.
Yeah.
It'll be fully sprinklered, so in terms of the code aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't have questions, please. Yeah, I would do, I just wanted just a couple of things. Fran, everything looks pretty straightforward to me. I don't have any more questions for you. You're gonna move to close the public hearing. All those in favor? Okay.
thank you.
On this, the raise.
And just let it go. It's not conforming, is not really.
And the thing is, it's for existing non-conforming, this is not. And this is better.
No, so it's got the 4-foot vegetative strip, the
Back.
front yard is corner lot, that's why 2 front yards issue on Reynolds Ave, it's within 5 feet of the front yard. That lot also doesn't meet the 65-foot, 65% green space that's required in the front yard, where that's also the Reynolds Ave side. The biggest thing is the driveway, I believe he's agreed that there's some portions there he has to pave, and also has to be lined.
Good.
And that he'll agree to do that within 2 years.
And I like the line idea that's on here. I did a nice job.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's a stipulation that you guys can make,
Yeah,
that you have in the past.
Yeah. Just needs to be lined as.
I mean, then you guys can do it, then the planning commission next week can do it.
Right.
The only variance in terms of parking you have to grant is that 1.5.
Right, we just have to, that's pretty much, you know, that would be written as written with stipulation of making sure the parking spots are lined within 2 years.
Yeah, and then you grant an area variance for the number of parking spaces.
But they currently comply with, continue to comply with parking, number of parking.
Well, they don't comply.
They don't comply. They have less tenants than they have spots, or they have less cars with their current tenants than they have. It doesn't mean that they don't end up in a couple of years.
Just the number in the table is 1.5 per member. It says per member. So I don't know whether you want to call members of people living in the house or members in the entire sorority.
Right, and that doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot in the table.
I know, there's lots of sense, but
Go by it.
so I really think that in the spirit of it, they were looking at the amount of units inside of a building, and they're probably trying to say 1.5 unit. But we've never had a ratio there in the sense I can remember.
But see, for the multiple residents, it's only, if you look at a multiple residence, right, it's only like 2 per dwelling.
Right.
And then this house could be six, well, I mean, the size of this house, you could have 6 or 7 dwellings.
Right.
And you're talking 14 parking spaces, but because it's a fraternity and sorority, you're talking 100.
And it's a historic residence that is properly repurposed. So,
Again, I'm just going by the table.
right. But this is one of those usages that if you were looking for an ideal usage for one of those, this would probably be it.
That's why I put it down as a need for a variance for the table.
So we're gonna have to do 2 ones. We're gonna have to pass the, is this 2 or is this just a new one? Or it should be just one, it's gonna be an area variance.
Yeah, it's a all area.
Yeah, bulk area. Yeah, so, so our yellows are out of conformance, so our new front yard runs, that's a 2 front yard side, we've got a fence non conforming, but that's stolen.
Parking's not
Parking
conforming,
is not conforming.
and that's it, 65% front
Project
yard.
state strip, and we want this lot lined in 2 years.
And unpaid portion.
You're right, well, it has to be in, this needs to be non-conforming. So,
They have drywall on it. Good.
seeing as I can talk through any of that.
Motion is gonna include,
Okay,
conditions that
we, the parking lot be fully paved and lined within 2 years. And area variance, did you get all the ones I was saying? Okay, good.
well, no, I'm not gonna list each out.
Yeah, so, everybody understands.
Approve the area variances for all pre-existing non-conformities condition.
And I'll list them all on, when I enter it all in the system, I'll list them all out.
Okay.
So, they're just the conditions that the parking lot be fully paved and lined within 2 years.
Correct. And you can put that on as a meeting, that's putting it forward.
Right.
Anybody want to second?
The motion should. That's. Oh,
Yeah, but it's, this is pending going to, this, who's this going to next?
Planning commission for,
Yeah.
another pre-existing non-conforming issue we have with this property is supposed to have a special use permit,
Mhm.
which it wasn't required to have an expansion of the property, it's just expansion of the property, he's gonna go back to this restaurant.
Right. So, everything is gonna go, but we don't need that. It's just going, it's just going.
made a motion, so.
All those in favor? Aye. Say opposed, abstain. 3-0. Thanks, Fran.
Also, thank you very much.
Mr. Best.
Yeah, I think we're-
I'm gonna have to get that to you.
Oh, just take your time.
It's less than 100%.
All right, we're gonna be back next week anyways.
I'll have it for you next week.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Okay. It's first. It's not the quickest of refreshing text.
Yeah, this may have been the largest, this and the planning commission made this next week may have been the largest documents I've ever had to look at.
I can't approve it.
Huh?
Said I can't approve that.
It's big.
Okay,
It's like 112 megabytes.
are we using? Are we using third party numbers at city staff? This should be able to press it. Okay, next one on the agenda, item number 2, bulk area variance for 13 Kent Road. The Underwood seeks an area variance for pre-existing non-conformities, lot size and setback for the purpose of constructing a picket fence more than 6 feet in height in the front yard. We don't like huge fences.
All right, so she's got a 6-foot fence that's next to the neighbor's house, she's not here. It's over 4 foot, it's not a picket,
Okay,
and that's in the front yard, so it protrudes down, it is. So just so you guys know, it is 4 feet back. So the neighbor has that
can see.
line of sight when he's backing out of the driveway, so it is 4 foot back, but it's still in her front yard. And in the rear yard, there's a shed that's within 4 feet of the property line. And then the lot size isn't big enough for an R1 neighbor. There's three variances right there. There's a little, either one of them are here right now. He's throwing rocks on her property, she's putting up a 6 foot fence, we're up there on a weekly basis trying to settle these issues. So she just wants security from her neighbor. It actually looks nice, the fence looks nice. And again, it only comes down the side of the house, maybe between 8 and 10 feet. And it does end within 4 feet, so our neighbor can see back up.
We are still, we're looking at, probably still looking at that, I think we end up out of order in fact.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm down to page 63 before I get to the application. Yeah, maybe 3 Hamlin and then the rest of the information. That's all we need. Photos.
So they gotta have paper.
Stay with me here.
There you go. That's it. You can see in the front there's, that's neighbor's driveway, and it's got a truck, so you can see the back out. That's the front yard. So, 6 or 8 feet that she had.
Do we have a name? We have.
It's interesting. That's interesting.
This looks like the end of the chest. We got a few roads in this town that have these kind of weird lines.
You're saying there's something about Hamlin in there?
Yeah, there's.
83 Hamlin. Page 76.
Yeah, I'm heading down to, I just have to wait for the.
So that is, I mean, I wouldn't blame anybody, but I mean, I have a lot of paper that goes across my desk, it's probably my fault. But it's just. If it's anybody's fault, might have got.
Yeah,
put in
it doesn't-
there.
I mean,
But that picture right there, that's the best way to sum it up, that's it.
right. No, I get it.
So we just driving around the neighborhood and saw this, but they didn't comment for
I'm the neighbor, like,
that. Neighbor complained about it.
when I went up there to check on it, that's what I thought. Ladies like it. Well, she's a nice enough lady, she's very confident.
I mean, it's, yeah, you can see how it would be. Right. Steps. That's right, was that right on the line,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
right to it?
Why is this 2/3 of this neighborhood been in front of us? It's 4 years.
What page again is the Hamlin thing?
I can't remember, I assume you passed it, but
Within,
it's in the middle of the.
31, this page 183. That's so.
So. And on this, we are. Looking at. Non-conforming, so we look for the.
So what was the complaint from the neighbor, like, what did that? What did?
Well, he can't
See, so
park off his lawn and because the fence, he can't get out of the car.
can't get out of his car.
Cause he can't, he was parking on the lawn.
Yes, yeah, so. It sounds like somebody's trying to start.
Neighbors off.
So he was parking over by the grass and that, with that, what is, you know,
Well, just so you know, he expanded his
I'm looking,
driveway permitting.
And he put gravel next to a non-impervious.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm on that as well. And it's perfect.
Thank you. I was gonna say, okay, so we're on this, so we have. Shares exist, so is she changing this fence or just, they're just getting?
No, that sheet, so that's there.
That was great.
It is great. That's so,
Oh,
that's already done.
Okay, gotcha. So, I'm looking.
yeah, boys.
I'm catching up after the fact.
Right.
It's happens quite a bit with people, unfortunately.
I'm just,
We just got one application stuck in here. By mistake, between 1 and 2. So, yeah,
in the midst of one, yeah.
so you need to go to page like 61 to start.
Yeah.
Cat, so did all my numbering get?
We're currently on 60, page 61 starts at 13, 10. But I'm just looking here, so we've got, here's what we've got for two. Roy's start here. Okay, we've got a we have non-conforming lot size, we have a minimum lot width non-conforming existing. We do, everything else on there is.
So you guys will set my sheet there. So I think that's-
Oh, yeah. Good. We found it, and it was just. Cool.
So lot size, lot width. Lot size, lot detached.
And you can't shed
Shed in the backyard and fence.
the fence. Okay.
Isn't just applying for the front porch, that condition, or is that the station, one on that same colors?
Correct, yeah. This, that full circle, it sounds like a joke, but over the last 4 years, I. Yeah.
It's not, you guys are probably gonna see another interpretation coming your way with details.
Yeah. Okay, but, pictures show the neighbors. Upstairs, so anyway. It's not the first time we've ever. Yeah, that's a state. It's a front. Fence. Because it ends at the front, not because. She has to long. Correct, it's because.
So your front lawn starts in front of your house.
Gotcha. That's right, so it's a side fence that comes along, becomes a front fence, that comes along the side, so there's.
Like I said, so if you look at the front of the garage area right there, that fence extends a good 8 feet past the front of the house.
Right.
Whereas to be in conformity, that would have to be a picket fence starting at the garage.
It's an interesting spot, because I would say if that was on like a straight road, with there wasn't a curb, like it's way too far out, you can't see, yada yada, so it's a little bit.
So just so you guys know, I was concerned about that. I took a tape measure and measured from the end of that fence to the road, and that's like 5 feet.
Yeah, there's plenty of space. There, so that we've had those before. But going along that property line, it's 6 feet from the front, so we get 50%. So. It's not gonna be.
If they apply for this before they put the fence, would you suggest that location, would you kind of like to?
They wanted to do it. I personally don't see a huge big deal with it. I mean, she's trying to keep the neighbor off of her property.
In the worst case, we've done a couple times, we've actually made them go from 6 to 4 at that point. And she,
If I can.
I would say 6 to 4,
Good fences make good neighbors.
I would say 6 to 4, but it's like that, if the vision was very, but
I don't think the vision is there, so I don't see it where that's an issue. And then that person we talked to end up not looking.
Yeah.
So.
But it does hear them.
Nobody's here to speak on that, 'cause it's just us.
No, it's just me. But with me the rest of the night, if you can stay.
Issue with it, I don't see anything in here. A catch of. Giving some special approval on something or anything like that, there's nothing. That's gonna come pictured by the sounds. I don't see any issues with this.
No, it's just like you guys did on Groton Ave with the 6 foot fence in the front yard. Groton Ave, 4 foot back off the sidewalk, 6 foot back off the right of way. It's, I see that fence now.
Yeah, we did approve.
It's not bigger. See,
Yeah.
it's probably.
Yeah, and it's a close section, it's like.
Quarter lots on top.
Anybody want? Let's get those, I motion those. All in favor?
Aye.
Me too.
Those are the questions.
Yeah, I gotta find. You didn't give me the page of questions.
Do that. Then, I got 62.
Yeah. Paper clip.
Only test. Whether than there to change the boost. Whatever benefits somebody and can't achieve this. Method feasible. Two other areas. Whether the criteria are substantial. Never. Whether the proposed variance will have adverse effect on the. To environment conditions, negative district, no. Whether the alleged difficult of subcreated consideration should be relevant to the decision board and should not consider food granting in the area variance. I did both of those. Now, we're at the end. Going with. Yes, no problem. In a condo. Um.
Yeah, those. To approve of your variance.
Second there. All those in favor? Opposed, abstained. Okay.
Paper clip, or something up there.
I see them right
Oh, look at that.
next to it.
That again, let's try it. Got it.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Okay. Agenda item number 3, bulk area variance 53 West Main Street. Travis further seeks a bulk variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of enlarging of a deck. Okay. See. And switch to how much we enlarging stack.
If you look at the back of the building permit.
Yeah.
241 square feet.
Point there is. I see all the pre-existing. It's not much shit.
So. There's a detached garage that's 2.8 foot.
Okay.
Side yard is meeting 4 foot, there's obviously because of that 4 foot, it also violates the 4 foot vegetative strip of 375.
Right.
Front yard is 19.42, which doesn't meet the required 25, and the lot size is 9,380, which doesn't meet the required 10K.
These are. These are just.
It's the same thing you guys.
It's standing back. This is time.
Cover on it, Roy, or anything, just to.
Nope. Was 10.6 by 12, now it's gonna be 10.6 by 22.
That's questions. Or the next one.
Yes, actually 12.
Ish, I like the low. Lowest care, but. That's. So they show. You see, yeah, it lowers itself at the south of the truck. Thanks. I like it. Okay. I have a motion to close the vote there. All in favor? Okay, here's, discussion up there. Undesirable change will be produced to get rid of the neighborhood reduction to near period by the granting of variance. What are the benefits of that can be achieved as method feasible? Pursue the area variance and what are the requested area variance is substantial and whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the environmental efficiency of the district. What are alleged difficulties operating which consideration should be to the board should not assume the granting of area variance. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, knows.
The usual. Then I motion to approve this.
I'll second. Okay.
All those there.
Aye.
Thank you. Great. Those my business. See.
I was old.
Yeah. Okay.
House.
Very interesting. 42, okay, so agenda item number 4, bulk area variance 42 East Court. And Beach seeks the bulk variance for pre-existing non-conforming use for the purpose of extending on stairs
So these, if you ever been by
Yeah.
42 East Four,
But like, I live in 42 Westport, it's quite a different, so is somebody living there now or going to live there?
42 East Four. So they changed it to a single family home and they expect no expense bringing that historical home back up into use again. It is beautiful. I mean, the exterior, they really haven't started any work on that yet, but they're gonna start painting it and they're getting the stained glass replaced.
Yeah.
It's, so they've been working diligently to bring this back up to single family home. They've been really doing a good job. So to meet the current code, the old stairs they didn't have the right rise and stuff, but to meet the current code, they bring that out right more. So because they had to expand those stairs out in that front yard, we got a lot coverage issue, we got a front yard issue, obviously. And the extension of the front stairs, will reduce, so currently it's that 8.71 out of 25.
Right.
And those front stairs have reduced into that as well, so I'm not exactly sure how far they reduce into that. I can't imagine it'll be another couple feet, maybe tops. Once you take in, minimum riser depth, so it's a tread height, tread depth and riser.
Anything you do in that house, and it's a beautiful house.
It is,
Must have been
I mean,
time, and now somebody's gonna do that.
it is gorgeous. I mean, it's got the old,
I never been inside, I'd like to see it inside.
it actually has the gaslight piping intact still that they ran.
When they had it, will be asphalt.
No, but this couple ran wiring through the gaslight piping and put LEDs in with the old
In the old.
gaslight piping. Just, it's gorgeous.
So the house gates is gas.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of those houses in that one area that go back to railroad. And
I think that's probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Next door.
Oh, yeah.
See.
You can see what down the exterior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mechanic is down at the bottom, and whenever I got in the car, I always walked back. To it. Just very historic, yeah, walked all around it, it's cool.
Yeah, we parked the trailer next to it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's awesome. Okay,
Right.
from, how much to go vote here?
Second.
All those there. There's a lot right there. Well, then desirable change of reduce tip. That's not right. Cheapest. So other than the 90 minutes. Further request very substantial. No. Further proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions. in the district. No, however, alleged difficulties, greater chance of the relationship be able to. Shall assume the current here. This is a question because. To be doing those, he has to do that. So it's not, I wouldn't say. Right.
Thank you. Front steps are probably. I think it's.
I think I'd say no.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Those are nose all the way down, right?
Whole area variance.
So, okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, same.
house.
Yeah.
That's a little bit.
Okay. Bulk area variance, okay, agenda item number 5. Bulk area variance, 15 Owego Street, the Vecchia Family LLC, bulk variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of extending the porch by 3 feet toward the side. And. Okay, so. One. Street. So I see the. Language referral, is that right now for open page?
So
Referral.
let's, this one I've been talking with the county about. We're initially gonna go for a special use permit with this one.
Okay,
But I think we're gonna change it to a site plan, that's something for Andy down the road, nothing really you guys gotta worry about, it's one of those weird ones that's pre-existing non-conforming with a 2-family and a single lot,
okay,
so it's a non-conforming use,
Single behind.
the singles behind you,
Yes.
right?
so it's a non-conforming use. So one of the reasons we're here is he wants to expand that front porch by 3 feet. I can tell you he's already begun work on that front porch because it's well, student housing.
Yeah.
These guys have to get the work done when they can.
Right. Oh, I get it.
Again, it's not one of those things where it's not conforming. You know, you're not making new property. In the past, we've had. So Mr. Delvecchio has been really willing to work with us, to try to get this fixed.
Mhm.
Initially, I thought, so. I told him it was okay to start working at the front porch because he has, there's student properties, he has to get work done.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not like he's doing a huge extension, he's just expanding it by like 3 feet.
And it's not coming right up on the sidewalk or anything, but it's got almost 20 feet, I walked past it today. Yeah, it's like,
The reason just to do the new deck is just for a new deck, make it bigger.
Make it a little bigger so the kids have a little more.
yeah, it's
Time
tiny.
outside.
It's not covered, it's not gonna cover it either.
It's covered right now.
Yeah, that 18 also. It's not very big, I walked, like I said.
It wasn't big anyway, now he's just expanding it.
A while ago, we had, and you may remember this, Roy, we had a rash of students grilling on front decks and, when going to other
Well-
parties, leaving the grill going.
I don't think that's a great idea, I mean, we're against it too, but. They shouldn't be doing it, but that's more of a pragmatic thing that we have to deal with. We go around, we educate them in the beginning of the
Yeah,
year.
well, it hasn't happened in a long time.
But I will tell you this, believe it or not, there's different regulations for 1 or 2 family home than there are for a multiple residence, so. Those being 1 and 2 family homes, they, right, wrong, or different, they have different regulations for that type of thing than multiple residence.
So if I'm getting this right away, so if he's gonna go out, he's gonna extend that front porch, make it a little bit larger because it is tiny.
Yeah,
And he's gonna put a new roof on to match, and he's gonna put.
well, that roof Yeah, I think
The little tiny cat, he's got.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna extend that cat down,
yeah, it's good. Like,
because if he built a whole new one, now he's into the structure of the house.
so to make this property more conforming, I was gonna have him get a special use permit.
Right.
Then in discussing with the county, that section of the code says it's not allowed. Says you can have two multiples on a property with special use permit, but you can't have a single and two singles and two doubles.
Right.
I can't make stuff.
Yeah,
So because of that, because it is it's like a 213 or something, it's a multiple dwellings on the same property. We're gonna change that special use permit to a site plan review for that extension, it's changing the size of the building. And because of it, he's expanding on a non-conforming use, that's something you guys just keep in the back of your head when you make this approval.
right.
That it's okay, even though it's a pre-existing non-conforming use, it's still a non-conforming use. And we've done that with other properties in the past. There's really no way to fix it, right?
Right, and so in some cases, we end up having the use variances, but they have a hot rule.
Yes, but see, this really isn't a use variance.
No. No, just that's much higher burden.
Because we still want people to be able to improve upon their properties, fix them in cases like this.
That's what I'm thinking. And Delvecchio's have been doing a very good job.
So one thing I would do, again, with this, I would say that it needs to be paved and lined. And it's going to need a variance for max park. Because right now he has, if I did my math correctly, it has 10 spaces. And he's only allowed 4.
Right now, is he going to have to come in front of us again at that point? Or is that
How many
something?
pages? No, it'll, so he has to go to site, right? It's like, you guys say it's to be paved and whatever. Within 2 years, just like did Mr. Armedio, they're gonna reiterate it in site. And he'll have to get it done in 2 years, and if he does, then we'll revisit, but the paving thing is a site plan thing.
And that is a very pervasive thing in the summer, lots of non-pervious driveways here, so.
I mean, we're trying to, so the code recognizes this. It doesn't really give any clear plan to get driveways paved, but yet it tells you they have to. Sure.
Right,
I mean, now it just is, it makes now a good opportunity to say, hey, pave it.
Yeah.
We're gonna allow you to extend your deck, pave.
But that's why I've been trying to handle it like this.
I just don't want to wait to a point where people aren't gonna come get permits because they don't want to be spending the money. Because they don't have.
Well, wait, but that's our job to
Right,
say, it is what it is, but it's gonna, I mean, there's really no, if we catch people doing work without permits, there's penalties for that as well. So.
so,
But in the same token, we're trying to make it easier. I mean, I believe that myself and this board have made it really easy to come in front of you to get stuff accomplished as opposed to our predecessors.
right,
And because of it, I think we're seeing more applications. Does that make sense than ever?
well, no, it does make sense, because, you know, we've had a pretty common sense for. You know, honest, I'd say about 4
And
years.
believe me, this particular case here that you're talking about, in the past, he would have never came in this kind of stuff, because of being afraid of getting turned down, because of the group we have here now. He's agreed to work with us to get things done, you know, the way they should be.
We have lots of properties in this town that have been non-conforming since before the 70s.
And really, if you think about it, I mean, you're not gonna fix it. But you need to get it fixed when you can through like this.
Like my property, for instance, that I live, if we were to go into conformance,
I mean,
we'd have to knock an 1860s house down with a barn behind it, just to.
I can tell you, you're gonna be hearing from one of my partners downstairs in a couple of weeks, because I'm gonna be
Yeah, it's like,
Oh,
oh, we've been. Okay, what more questions?
Motion. She, just. Meeting.
And this is just being consistent with what we're doing. I mean, yes, it's a 3 foot expansion of the front porch. But
I do have a
that,
question.
actually, that, those front stairs we talked about, were, a 2 foot expansion of. You know, we're just being consistent with the way we do it, there's nothing wrong. with this.
166.
Is that correct? I'm still. Yes.
The description of the proposed work.
Well, that proposed roof's in the back. That roof needed to be fixed because it was leaking.
Oh, this is just something.
That peaked roof that's in there at the back.
Trying before that. It's 8 foot there. It's. That's the front.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, we're gonna lose 8 feet, said 8.17 feet, but is what we were expanding.
Oh, this.
One of those roofs is in the back.
That's definitely not right.
But then a flat roof in the back of the house had to be peaked because it was collecting water and stuff.
I thought I saw something else there. Yeah, it says 3 feet on the ask, but then it's 8 feet on the actual drawing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contradiction, I think, of the description of the work.
Yeah.
There's 2 pages. The one is the back roof, and the one before that is the extension that's 8 foot
On the front.
of the front porch.
Shade. Front porch extension, 8 feet, which is what I was going on earlier. I should roll, I'll get into this right here. Good day, it's just gonna visualize it.
Yeah, so
It's not written right on the agenda, right?
that second page,
No, the page before that.
yeah, the page before that was just the page.
Yeah.
This one here, the back roof, that flat roof back there, they just peaked it. There's a pitting and getting. Oh, so in most spots, where it's getting water.
This is the. Okay, replace existing flat roof, and that one is this existing structure flat, that's the second picture, the first picture. So it's existing porch, and then the extension shows 8 feet, 8 feet.
That shows 8 feet, did I read it wrong?
Yeah, it just is then that's what I was figuring out.
It's 8 foot right, not deep.
Yeah, because they have an 8 foot, they said, you know, they were gonna come down.
It's getting closer to the sidewalk by 8 feet.
Yeah, which isn't a really big deal, so it's like,
I just want to make sure Ray understands.
yeah, that was, as long as we've got it on there.
Boy, I tell you what, when I drove by, it didn't look like 8 feet, did it?
Is the entire distance 8 feet now and plus 5, added 3.
That's what I'm starting to think, because it's like, it's a tiny porch. Yeah, 8 feet does not show up in their little, to scale at all in their sketch. I mean, it's just a RGB sketch, but still. The existing porch deck. It doesn't look like it's much deeper than what handle like a chair and being. This drawing, there's no way to. It's that. So I'm wondering. If the 8 feet is the entire. Full porch and the extension actually is 3 feet.
Right, the total depth is now 8 feet, or just drawn wrong.
I think it's drawn wrong. Because if they're add 3 feet to the front porch.
Yeah, we could let him have the tree.
I-
It's really great, I just remind him that, or we could even serve in motion. The drawing is incorrect. And according to the application. That's. And to extend. Front which not to exceed 3 feet.
Not seen.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, for the ZBA. Quick question. So they're going over your front porch. I thought you were just, so you, the picture you drew said 8 foot expansion, is that the total 8 foot? Or is that the actual expansion? I thought it was 3 feet. It's only 2 feet is the actual expansion, so the total thing is the.
That makes sense.
Hey, John, I got you on speakerphone with the ZBA. Can you tell them that you've only added 2 feet, so it's like total 8 feet? So that's it, the total 8, that's
Total
total 8.
8 feet, okay. It was just the notation in the drawing was incorrect, so. Okay.
That's what I thought, John, I appreciate it, thank you. Nope. No, we understand that, John, it's not gonna be a problem, it was just a question we had, thank you. But.
Okay. Um. Well, we'll just sit in extension of front work record. Of course. According
So
to
that
that,
is total.
so we, because the drawings are, we will tell them we can expand it by, so. And then we need to driveway date. And line within 2 years. Um. It's like that. All those in favor? Still,
And you guys saw.
we get questions for special use here. And I've got a bulk area variance that's on the agenda. So we are not gonna ask questions for the use. So she, the questions right there. Okay, well, an undesirable change will be reduced the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties will be created by the area variance. No, whether sought, but yeah, it could achieve by some that feasible for the applicant to pursue other than area variance. So, why the request area variance is substantial. Yeah. But those variants will have interest to protect them as an environment issue in the neighborhood district. Yeah, well, the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be according to the decision of the board, which shall not disturb the granting or variance. Say that's a yes. Um. So I'll move to approve the bulk area variance with, standing enforced by 3 4 towards sidewalk. The stipulation that. Or pave in line the driveway within 2 years. I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
So the only condition there is that. Fine.
It's not.
Moving on, item number 6.
This one's been, is this, what, is this here before us?
21 pennies.
Oh, yes.
So this gentleman would like to expand the parking into his front yard. So because we're expanding in the front yard, obviously we gotta get a variance for that 11,155 front yard parking. On the lot width. Is supposed to be 100, it's only 51. Front yard is 16, not 20, not 25, side yard. Supposed to be 15, not 8. And both side yards 8, 12, the. Shed in the garage is less than 4 feet off property line. Lot coverage is greater than 60%. You've got a front yard that is 300-75, which is the 300-75, which is 4-foot vegetated strip. And the 65% green space in the front yard, you got 3. Going back.
This is way too much structure for the sign.
Yeah, I think, boy, this, well, say,
I don't disagree, it's just I mean, the lot coverage is, so there's actually 3. I don't get it, there's 3 buildings.
Yeah, I see him from the. Right.
he's got plenty of room in the back. We do think we allow minimal areas to park for things like handicap. This is,
So if you look at, so you got curb cuts, driveways, it's got. You only residential driveways, in the front yard, not cover more than 35%, it's got more than 35. I mean,
I don't know,
if you look at this is one of those ones where you're like. I don't know what to do with this, that's why it's in front of you guys.
No, and the thing is, I've had 2 previous front yard parkings that are in this, that are similar in situation, where they don't have the space, or they have a long drive that people will stop, in the middle of the drive, block other people out parking, and we have denied them.
and we say this something, we paraphrase this a lot, you know, but there are limitations, every property has limitations. If you would be a buyer or investor buys property and you don't foresee those limitations, that's nothing we can do about.
And then we had to cry and parents and say, I have no place for the kid to park the car. Still don't have any place for the kid to park the car.
I'm still thinking about that 20 years down the road. Well, it's, they have limitations and there was. They have to understand that these single family homes serve that purpose quite well. And when they devolve, however you want to look at it, into multi-families, or 2-family or whatever, some properties, believe it or not, have limitations.
Yeah.
In terms of how the lot size is. And if I don't think this person has looked at all the options, which include the return on investment for those buildings in the back and what he's getting out of those, if anything. And whether that can be part of its parking area.
Well, so he used to live in one of those
Yeah,
buildings, it was owner occupied, and he no longer lives.
yeah,
So not property at all.
Yeah. yeah. I don't know, I don't have any.
There's, I mean,
It's pretty,
this is an extensive.
yeah,
Yeah, and this is one that you'd want to look at and get your, not just your code. But I have an emergency on this property, and I need to get fire apparatus and stuff
yeah, it's hard
to it, and I got cars parked. On it, you might,
Well, it's, and the obvious is the precedent set. But,
I think also might just.
Well, that's why it's off there first.
Yeah, just.
I don't think parking one vehicle where he wants to park it is gonna impinge on our
Yeah.
getting into the house.
Yeah.
We also,
I do think this particular area variance the guy wants is accepted.
Yeah, as you like it, like 20 driveway up this. Driveway up this house. Good application. Doesn't, he looks like we should drive up here.
There's two drives.
Yeah.
Neither one is paved, one of them is partially paved.
Sure.
Like those old driveways where you got just the paved pathways and the grass on the line.
Yeah. a little,
Cross on the side.
well, they used to pave like, or they didn't even pave, they poured it, they put concrete strips.
Yeah, that's what this one driveway is. It's not-
Just concrete strip protect. Yeah. Which is a lot, it used to be a lot. Yeah,
So he has two garages in that house.
yeah, this is true.
Roy said he lived with one, and so I think that. If it was something where we were, where it was really limited in space.
Right.
Unreconcilable. This one, fortunately, he does have a way to pose additional parking. It's in the-
No. Virtual. I get it.
Look at it. Get a lot. Property, high. Ordinance, condition, or
Let me sort of speak on it so we can.
I am speaking for it. I would say if you did it, there, I mean, that would have to be paved, and you know, you're talking about all the rest of the driveways being paved and that being paved, and it's just. It's got three structures on it anyway, which by the way is not conforming by, because it, so. Ultimately up to you guys, but, and I have to speak on behalf of the person here. So you have approved front yard parking other places. But the other places you approved it didn't have this many other issues.
Yeah, in other words,
other non-appropriate as well.
Yeah, other non-conforming,
Serious non.
right.
including having three. So. It is, if you look under. Dwelling restrictions in chapter 1 of the zoning code, you're not allowed to have. We went over this earlier, you're not allowed to have two singles, two doubles, or however you want to mix them, right? This actually has, this property actually has three.
Right, it's like, it's very similar to the one we had issues with. Yeah.
So it is extensively not.
Last one we had three. South Ave. And we declined the front part.
Well, you did do kind of a parking, but then they went back and they did a whole bunch of lot changes. You guys remember that?
Lot lines, and that was
They made all that right. Yeah.
that was a special.
Yeah.
So this guy had an option, just he's gonna have to do some lot consolidation.
Okay. I motion to close public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All I guess our chief. Which needs to. But. Granted, the area.
Say. Say, yeah. Change. Cause, yes.
Do we have any more houses on the?
Well,
Front.
No,
Yeah, there's a. That are pre-existing. Yeah, so it's more of a, I mean, there's some single family homes there, but it's more of a. R2 kind of non-owner occupied, I mean, there's a couple that are. Most of them are rentals.
right.
So it's, we can say no on it. When the benefits not by HG by then, the feasible for the two other things.
Yes. This,
Yeah, this,
she to the rear,
so I agree. She would be. So yes, I was request. Yes, yes, two is yes. Request area variance is substantial. Yes. Or whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect on the connect with physical environmental conditions in the district. I don't know. That's it. Whether the alleged difficulty was so created, which consideration should be released from the issue to the board, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. Yes. Excessive non-conformance issues. And other options for parking in the rear to pursue. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained. Okay, moving along, I am going to, even though they're not here, read one just for the questions. So we can document those questions for that area variance. And that number one was the 55 Tompkins Street with the rather large. Whether an undesirable change in producing character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties created by the granting of area variance. No. Whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by settlement. Supposed to the applicant pursue ordinary variance. No. Whether the requested area variance is substantial. Not. Yes, no. Whether the proposed area variance will have an adverse effect on physical environmental conditions in the district. No. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, or shall include the granting of the area variance. Yes. So those are the questions on agenda item number one, which is on the next. Things I don't see on the agenda is old business, new business, or minutes. So none of us weeks for any year, we just, okay, so we do not approve the previous minutes at this meeting, we can,
No, we can, do that.
so we do that, we should do. We're doing, but
What, I'm sorry,
we're missing, minutes from.
did I not send them to you?
Well, we don't have it on the agenda.
Oh, well,
Did I see it? Did I see it in some place? Let's look.
routine business.
Oh, it's, they have the agenda link.
No, I thought the minutes were late, like the agenda items were, we just had to click on approval of minutes. That's my bad.
Where, am I missing it someplace?
Well, it's possible that I didn't send it to you.
I don't think we got, there should be another link in there,
No,
but
okay,
we can approve next time.
all right. Well, my apologies for that.
Our apologies for catching.
Yeah, we didn't catch it, sir.
I-
Yeah, you're right. You know what? I got so hung up on trying to be able to get the document, the agenda document.
Hit the 55,
That I forgot all about
that's okay.
so I will send those with, you want me to send them like now or with them stuff next time?
Just putting two together when, on the next one, would probably work out better,
You got
because then we can put all of our attention into it at that point. The three members up here, any new business, we brought up, okay.
Andy might want to just reiterate the dates.
Does
it.
the,
Yeah, so I will send out tomorrow calendar, but next Monday after the planning commission meeting at approximately 6:15. We will hear a presentation from the and then Thursday, July 11th, 5:30. We will do the same with our 5:30. We will limit both to 1 hour because that's what we laid out with the RFP. They will come with a presentation and I will put together questions that both and that start working on that. I'm very happy to take any questions that anybody has and if you want to send them in advance. Try to put together a consistent set of questions. That'd be great.
okay, well, looks like, as long as you send that invite soon, it doesn't look like it's almost.
And then we will be hopefully like after done hearing from PR 11 to, if possible, make a recommendation about the board so that put it on the agenda for the council meeting that coming Tuesday. Next day, I sent the agenda for the following Tuesday council meeting so that we could have council approve or get going.
Okay, so that would be 16. Town council.
Yes. Then the other piece too, we're looking for recommendations about proposing advisory committee. We don't have to constitute the entire committee, up front here. The consultant, once they come on board, will help guide us, to bring together some of the varying perspectives that we want to have. Help us identify those, stakeholders, perspectives, and reach out to him. But, start with the planning commission, ZBA members to nominate themselves to be on that. For stakeholders, specifically for general.
Thank you. So you're gonna follow up the some of those and calendar, like, that's all. Meeting's adjourned, 6:55. Yeah.
Thank you.